Hello and welcome to a short introduction to Evaluating Impact. I'm Melanie Stone, the lead for the Enabling Community Outcomes project here at CES. I'm a social worker and have spent much of my career leading services in the voluntary and community sector. So I know firsthand the challenges of trying to demonstrate the difference our work has made. I also know the challenges of keeping that effort manageable to balance it with actually doing the work. The Evaluating Impact programme is a suite of 3 training modules that have been developed specifically for practitioners and service providers in the community and voluntary sector to enhance expertise and build capacity within the sector. The modules are very practical and participants have time to discuss the various methodologies and tools and how they might work in their setting. So who is the programme for? This programme has been designed in such a way that those new to evaluation and those with evaluation experience and everyone in between will benefit. It is aimed at project staff, service leads and evaluation teams who need to understand the basics of evaluation, and for those who need skills that support them to analyse and report on their data and to lead and develop and managing their service or organisation's evaluation framework. So here's a bit more detail on what we cover. Throughout the 3 modules, we'll cover the 7 components of evaluation outlined here. We will start with the different purposes of evaluation, then look at developing a theory of change for your service. We will clarify outcomes, what do you want to change, and indicators, how do you know the changes have occurred. We will learn about designing an evaluation framework, collecting data, analysing the data, and then reporting on it and using it for review and planning. Module 1, Evaluating Impact and Introduction. In this module, we will look at the essentials of evaluation. We don't start our evaluation work with a good questionnaire. We start further back with developing a good understanding of what we do, why we do it, and what we expect will be better as a result of the services we provide. How do we know what to measure if we haven't articulated what we do and what difference it will make? To do this, we develop a theory of change for the work we do. So what is a theory of change? A theory of change for your service is the relationship between what you put in, the people and resources, what you do, your daily activities, the things you produce, and what you expect to change as a result. In developing a theory of change, we will look at outcomes and outputs. What are they? Why do they matter? We also look at indicators. How do you know it is working? What evidence will tell you that you have contributed to better outcomes for your community? Module 2 is the nuts and bolts of evaluation. We know that it's hard to demonstrate change early on in your projects, so we will look at what you can evaluate at different stages of your work. We also focus in on asking the right questions, different ways to gather data, and the pros and cons of each. You can demonstrate impact through the numbers, quantitative data, or people's reflections, views and opinions, which is qualitative data. We will help you to think about which type of data to use in your circumstances. Module 3 is telling the story of your data. That means understanding what all the data you have gathered is actually telling you, understanding the needs of your stakeholders and communicating with them so they will hear your messages. In this module, we'll cover what to do with your data. So arranging it, coding it, drawing out themes and analysing the data. Using quantitative data to tell the story of your numbers. Understanding who needs to know what and developing a stakeholder communication plan. And then finally, telling and visualising your story so your target stakeholders understand your messages. This training has been developed with the challenges of the voluntary and community sector in mind, but we've had a number of colleagues from statutory services and academia who have found it to be very useful. Please feel free to have a conversation with us if you want to see if it's relevant for your evaluation needs. The programme runs in 2 formats. We have scheduled training twice a year from September to November and March to May. We also facilitate organisation-specific training where single organisations want to explore evaluation, to problem solve or to start designing an evaluation framework for their services. Again, please get in touch if that could be useful for you. To help you decide if this training is right for you, here is some feedback from the scheduled and organisation-specific training that speaks to the value of both formats. Namely, that in the scheduled training, participants benefit from learning from others in the same situation as themselves. In the organisation-specific training, participants benefit from a deep dive into their particular challenges and can problem solve during the session. The feedback also reflects that the CES team brings a high level of knowledge and expertise into a relaxed, unpressured, but engaged training environment. Finally, I'm going to leave you with our 10 top tips for evaluation. Start at the start or as early as possible. Keep it simple. Make it realistic. You won't change the world on your own, so don't try to measure world changiness. Make it proportionate to the resources you have, considering the effort required, the funding invested, and the time needed. Make it proportionate to the scale of your project and its outcomes. Benchmarking, that's measuring before and after. You don't need it, but it is helpful. Know your audience. Tailor to your audience. Speak their language. Do they want to know about the money? Do they want to hear the stories? Give context when telling your story. What does your statistic mean in context? Be open. Be brave. It might not be working. An evaluation can tell you that and help you to understand why. Evaluation is a tool that should serve you. Please get in touch if you would like to ask questions or just chat about the Evaluating Impact programme, and thank you for listening.